Я не хочу обострять ситуацию.
I don't want to exacerbate the situation.
I don't want to exacerbate the situation.
Молния — это природное явление.
Lightning is a natural occurrence.
Lightning is a natural occurrence.
Джефф разговаривал с легким заиканием.
Jeff spoke with a slight stammer.
Jeff spoke with a slight stammer.
Ветер опрокинул дерево.
The wind toppled the tree.
The wind toppled the tree.
Она пишет о моральном разложении нашего общества.
She writes about the moral decay of our society.
She writes about the moral decay of our society.
Наш основной принцип заключается в том, что все люди равны.
Our basic tenet is that all people are equal.
Our basic tenet is that all people are equal.
Варвары столкнулись с могущественной армией.
The barbarians faced a mighty army.
The barbarians faced a mighty army.
Они говорили одновременно во время встречи.
They spoke simultaneously during the meeting.
They spoke simultaneously during the meeting.
Мы были разочарованы заурядностью вина.
We were disappointed by the mediocrity of the wine.
We were disappointed by the mediocrity of the wine.
Мои волосы все еще влажные от дождя.
My hair's still damp from the rain.
My hair is still damp from the rain.
Они щедрой рукой раздавали подарки.
They distributed gifts with a lavish hand.
They distributed gifts with a lavish hand.
Я болтал ногами в прозрачной голубой воде.
I dangled my feet in the clear blue water.
I dangled my feet in the clear blue water.
Я произнес эту мольбу вслух.
I uttered that supplication out loud.
I uttered that supplication out loud.
Туристы долго не задерживались.
The tourists didn't linger very long.
The tourists didn't linger very long.
Эту договоренность необходимо держать в секрете.
This arrangement must be kept confidential.
This arrangement must be kept confidential.
Книга была посвящена ее мужу.
The book was dedicated to her husband.
The book was dedicated to her husband.
Мама ругала свою дочь за то, что та взяла конфету без спроса.
A mom berated her daughter for taking candy without asking.
A mom berated her daughter for taking candy without asking.
Законопроект был принят без существенных изменений.
The bill passed without substantial alteration.
The bill passed without substantial alteration.
Она неуклюже танцует.
She is awkward at dancing.
She is awkward at dancing.
Местная экономика необыкновенно упругая.
The local economy is remarkably resilient.
The local economy is remarkably resilient.
Правительство отказалось платить выкуп.
The government refused to pay the ransom.
The government refused to pay the ransom.
Колледж записывает на обучение около 25 тысяч студентов.
The college enrolls about 25,000 students.
The college enrolls about 25,000 students.
Майк пошел в спальню, чтобы проверить свою заначку.
Mike went into the bedroom to check on his stash.
Mike went into the bedroom to check on his stash.
Как и многие знаменитости, он жаждет внимания.
Like many celebrities, he craves attention.
Like many celebrities, he craves attention.
Ваза зашаталась, но не упала.
The vase wobbled but didn't fall over.
The vase wobbled but didn't fall over.
Она все еще кипела от негодования.
Resentment was still bubbling inside her.
Resentment was still bubbling inside her.
Эти новые лампы потребляют меньше электроэнергии.
The new lights consume less electricity.
The new lights consume less electricity.
Обе дороги сходятся в центре города.
The two roads converge in the center of town.
The two roads converge in the center of town.
Мужчины залпом выпили свое пиво.
The men gulped down their beers.
The men gulped down their beers.
Каждое доказательство измены, как нож, вонзалось в его сердце.
Every proof of the treachery struck like a knife into his heart.
Every proof of the treachery struck like a knife into his heart.
Он был очень возмущен изменениями.
He was very indignant about the changes.
He was very indignant about the changes.
Его взгляд остановился на ее невинном лице.
His gaze settled on her innocent face.
His gaze settled on her innocent face.
Рана обильно кровоточила.
The wound was bleeding profusely.
The wound was bleeding profusely.
В комнате Элен всегда чистота и порядок.
Ellen's room is always neat and tidy.
Ellen's room is always neat and tidy.
Их ботинки громко хрустели по замерзшему снегу.
Their boots crunched loudly on the frozen snow.
Their boots crunched loudly on the frozen snow.
Я не знаю, из-за чего вся эта суета.
I don't know what all the fuss is about.
I don't know what all the fuss is about.
Он выполнял работу с привычной ему эффективностью.
He did the work with his customary efficiency.
He did the work with his customary efficiency.
Это самая большая глупость, которую я когда-либо слышал.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
Работа утомляет меня иногда.
The work wearies me sometimes.
The work wearies me sometimes.
Это оставляет чувство пустоты и осиротелости.
It leaves the feeling of void and forsakenness.
It leaves the feeling of void and forsakenness.
Их чувство облегчения было почти осязаемо.
Their sense of relief was almost tangible.
Their sense of relief was almost tangible.
Увидев их вместе, я почувствовал укол зависти.
I felt a twinge of envy when I saw them together.
I felt a twinge of envy when I saw them together.
Прилив подгонял лодку к берегу.
The boat was impelled toward the shore by the tide.
The boat was impelled toward the shore by the tide.
Наш преподаватель очень откровенен со своими студентами.
Our teacher is very frank about telling his students.
Our teacher is very frank about telling his students.
Президент остается непроницаемым к общественному мнению.
The president remains impervious to public opinion.
The president remains impervious to public opinion.
Эту историю исказили в прессе.
The story was distorted by the press.
The story was distorted by the press.
Ветер разбросал кучу листьев.
The wind scattered the pile of leaves.
The wind scattered the pile of leaves.
Она начала кашлять и чихать.
She started coughing and sneezing.
She started coughing and sneezing.
У меня простуда, и я все еще заразный.
I have a cold and I'm still contagious.
I have a cold and I'm still contagious.
Они подстрекали толпу к бунту.
They egged the crowd on to riot.
They egged the crowd on to riot.